Hello again, Anthony James Donnelly here. As promised, I'm going to be reading from my new children's book, Michael and the Magic Hiccup, which will be available middle of next month, so sometime in March. And as promised, I'm going to be reading a little bit of the book, give you a taster of it, and yeah, more details in the box below. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Michael and the Magic Hiccup, Book 1, The Adventure Begins. Michael was bored. He was always bored. Today, more than ever, he was especially bored. It had been raining constantly for over a week now. Not just the normal drizzly rain, but that cold grey rain that made everything look even more dull and boring. Nothing exciting ever happened when it rained. In fact, the only thing that happened when it rained like this was that things got wet. Very, very wet. That was exactly what was happening to Michael, because Michael was a garden gnome. A very wet and very bored garden gnome. If he'd had a choice in the matter, he would much rather have been a knight or an explorer or an adventurous snail or anything else for that matter, as long as it wasn't a garden gnome. But he didn't have a choice. So there he was, Michael the garden gnome, stood in the front garden of Mr. and Mrs. Poops, very wet and very bored. Year after year he stood there alone in his silly red hat, bright green tunic, dark blue trousers, black rubber Wellington boots, and, not forgetting, his very stupid fishing rod with the plastic goldfish dangling boringly from his fishing line. About the most exciting thing that ever happened to him was Mr. and Mrs. Poops' ginger Tom that would come and sniff at him every once in a while. It really was a boring life being a garden gnome. The old couple weren't so bad. Mr. Poops had long since retired as the town's local bank manager and spent most of his time tinkering in the garden or in his potting shed. Mrs. Poops, who Michael thought must be going a little mad, spent most of her time stroking her ginger cat, or stranger still, talking to it, as if a cat could understand what she was talking about. Mr. Poops had long since stopped paying attention to his wife, choosing instead to talk to his favourite garden ornament. Michael really was getting fed up of standing there in the pouring rain. He hadn't seen anyone for days now. Not even the ginger Tom had come out to have a sniff at him. He hadn't even seen the postman come up the pathway to deliver their daily mail. If it didn't stop raining soon, Michael thought, he would have to do something rather drastic. He didn't know what that would be, but he had a great deal of time to think about what he might do. Most of all, he longed for some kind of adventure. And I shall read some more a bit later on. But there's more up on my blog if you want to get an advanced read, and I'll be putting more bits up and doing more videos as time goes by. And as said, Michael and the Magic Hiccup, The Adventure Begins, will be available in bookstores and on Amazon and directly from me if you want a signed copy. Yeah, in middle of March. Alright, stay tuned. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.